It's Saturday at 8 a.m. I've got a cup of coffee and my guitar and nothing else to do until noon. I click on a YouTube video and another and another. Then I look up some tabs and I learn a lick or two. Then I noodle around a bit. Suddenly I hear a knock on the door. It's my wife. Are you ready to go? Oh man, it's noon and I haven't done a darn thing. Is that you? It sure is like me. One thing that's super frustrating is the inefficient way that we learn new things on the guitar. With all the material that's out there on the internet, it should be easier than ever before, but we all know it just isn't that way. Okay, let's get this out of the way. We all know why it's hard to learn something new on the guitar. It's just time and focus, right? There's so much stuff out there today, it's just drawing our attention and it's hard to choose. But if we all know the solution, how come we don't use it? I think it's because the phrase just focus is not really a solution. I bet most of you, like me, have had those sessions I described. Clicking on a video or two, going off on a tangent or two or three, and then just ending up playing what we always play and not really learning anything. So instead, I want to show you a very simple process that will get better results. It works for me, it'll work for you too. Step 1. All right, the first step is going to sound a little bit hokey and very few people do it, but it'll increase your chances of improving by about 500%. Here it is. Write down what you want to learn. Doesn't matter whether you use pen and paper, my favorite, or computer, or phone, or whatever, but write it down. We'll discover the biggest reason to do this at the end of the video, but clearly this is going to help you focus, right? Because when you go off on your tangent or click on a different video or look up a tab, you can always look down at your paper or sticky note or what have you and say, wait, this is what I was supposed to be trying to learn today. Step 2, isolate the simplest skills possible for what you're trying to learn. I used to falter here because I'd try and improve everything at once. Instead, narrow it down. For example, suppose you're trying to get better at theory. That's a huge subject, so you've got to narrow it down. Pick something simple, like maybe the sharp keys on the cycle of fifths, and learn that. One thing I'd like to do is improve my fingerstyle playing. But again, that's a huge subject, so I might choose something like playing dead thumb style blues. Even there, it's pretty big. So I might further break it down into playing a steady bass note with the thumb, and then adding fingers, and then playing in the key of E, and so forth. But narrowing it down, not enough. That's why we need the next step. Step 3 is to do it until it becomes natural. So many players just learn where to put their fingers and then they move on. That's not good enough. One YouTube commenter a few years back told me that he learned 50 licks a day. It doesn't seem likely that he learned them well enough to use them. Most things take time and repetition for them to really sink in. It's like the difference between this and this. But even getting it to sound natural isn't quite enough to get us there. We need the 4th step as well. Hey, just a brief pause here. You may be wondering, what is this guitar? It's a Donner guitar. Now this was sent to me and I said if I liked it well enough I'd play it in a video, and so here it is. It's a decent basic guitar, and in fact there's a couple of links in there, including a Donner at Berkeley link that's in the description. You can check it out if you'd like. All right, back to the regularly scheduled program. The 4th step is to apply it to music. I got a recent comment on a video where a user suggested to only play scales and arpeggios for 12 months before you do anything. No music, no licks, no songs. That's about the worst piece of advice I've ever heard. Not only will it be super boring, but it won't work. Okay, let's take the last lick as an example. Chances are that if we use it in a song, we'll have to alter it a little bit. Maybe change it because of the rhythm of the song, or change it because of the licks that came before or after it. see how I had to alter the lick to transition to the next chord? It's those little struggles that make all the difference. So isolating skills, working to make them natural, and putting them to music are all vitally important. But remember in the beginning when I told you there was an even bigger reason to write down what you want to learn? It's because writing down what you want to learn forces you to think about whether you want to learn it in the first place, whether you like it. I found that most players, including me, can do a pretty credible job of playing in the style that they like as long as they're in it for the long haul, as long as that payoff is really there. And after all, music is supposed to be fun. And if you want more fun, more simple insights into getting better, and most importantly, enjoying yourself when you play, click here, because I've got lots of little tips and tricks that can help you get more enjoyment out of music. So click here. I'll see you in the next video, and I'll see you on down the road.